Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing something quite a bit different. We're going to be doing a review of a new show that actually just came out today. I just finished up watching the first episode. We're going to be reviewing The Last of Us show, which if you do not know, I'm a very big fan of the game. It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time, easily in my top 3. So I was actually, at first I wasn't too excited. I was kind of, because when it comes to video game shows, they're just never good. Like for the most part, they're almost always really just not good. I was kind of scared of the same thing happening for this show, but I had high hopes for it, and man, the first episode was actually pretty good. So I'm not going to get into any spoilers or anything for this one. I just want to go over some quick initial thoughts for the first episode and kind of how it compared to the first game. I honestly really like all the casting decisions that they made for all the characters. I feel like all of them in the first episode did a very good job, and I kind of like where it's differentiating itself from even the game, where the first episode is like a really drawn out part of the first part of the game, because even the part before the actual outbreak happened in the game, it's a lot more extended in the show, and they go over a lot more, and they kind of show what this character was doing, and then they also the way that, you know, like Joel and they found the outbreak and kind of how all that happened was a little bit different, which I thought was really cool. Is the show's just finding good ways to differentiate itself from the game, which is cool, but it's also sticking to the same base premise of everything that was in the game and everything that was kind of in that first part of the game, and they just show a lot more, which makes sense, because when it comes to like a TV show versus a game, the way they do, I guess you could almost say like filler content, just the stuff to keep it moving, is very different. Because while in a game, you know, you're interacting with everything, you're doing different things. Meanwhile with the show, it's got to be able to entertain you the whole time, because you're watching it, you're not, you know, interacting with it or doing different things with it, which is where they did a very good job kind of drawing it out, but it didn't feel too long, where it was still entertaining, it was still exciting. There definitely enjoyed just how they put everything together. Something where it felt like it was good to its base material, but it differed enough from how the game was where it felt different, like it was kind of its own thing almost, but it still stayed true to, you know, the base material and what it was based on, which was, I really enjoyed that. It definitely made the show where it didn't feel like it was trying to do the exact same thing, just swap it over to like a TV show. Pretty much it seems like this is going to be something where they took the concept of The Last of Us and what all of that was about, and they're going to be drawing it out across the whole show, which is really cool. It's something I really like to see. And then even another thing I really like that they did was the character development in this was definitely kind of different in some senses from how the show was, where they drew out certain characters a bit more in this first part compared to how they did in the original, in the game. It's like Sarah, for example, that was Joel's daughter. She had, you know, like a whole little segment that wasn't in the game, which it kind of drew out her character a little more. You got to see a little more of that character. But even with like Joel, Tess, even Ellie a little bit, they also all had kind of just different parts that wasn't in the original game that allowed you to kind of see a different side of them, or a different adaptation of them, you could say, which was really cool to see. And I'm glad it's something where it's so far done a really good job at staying true to its base material without trying to be a blatant copy of its base material, where it's trying to be its own thing and move forward as its own thing, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's not something completely different where you're just watching and you're like, what am I watching, dude? So it's something where, because a lot of video game adaptations, they'll do that where you're watching it, but it's kind of like, what is this? Like, it's just, it has the same name, same characters and stuff, but it's not the same show as what, you know, you're expecting to see from a TV adaptation of a game, which is something where they seem to be actually putting a lot of care and time into this, and all the actors' performances so far have been really, really good. We're moving forward. I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do, and at this point, I really only think it can get better from here, which I'm very excited to see. But I'd like to know, did you guys watch it? What were your thoughts on it? I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm either going to do a review after every episode, or I'm just going to wait till the end of the season and just do like a full season review. But yeah, no, I definitely would say this is very good. If you haven't watched it, it's definitely worth a watch. If you did, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. That is going to be all for me today. I will see you all very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.